you can do is just tell the truth and trust in the American people that over time they're going to know what the truth is.
Yes, it is time for the truth. Right here, right now. This is the Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives. With your host, John Matthews.
It's a latter-day prophet, baying against the hypocrisies of our time.
And Joe Hakos.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
The Conservative Syndicate is comprised of some of the most informed pundits and activists available today. Together, we seek to tear down the imaginary wall, a separation between church and state through education, information, and engagement on the religion of politics and the politics of religion. And now, your host on the globally syndicated Conservative Syndicate, John Matthews and Joe Hakos.
All right, hey, how are we doing out there all across this great republic of ours and around the world? It's that time. It's time for the Conservative Syndicate, coming to you live right now, coast to coast, nationally acclaimed, globally syndicated, the Conservative Syndicate. Glad to have you with us on this great Friday afternoon all across the land. And we got a pretty good show for you. Kind of light for a Friday, but you'll enjoy it. You'll get the gist of what we're doing today. There's a couple of things that just kind of, they're on my, I guess, comedy radar today. I just, what these things where you kind of go, you got to kind of laugh at it, because if you don't, you end up crying about it, that kind of thing. And it's just so indicative here. I'm starting to think, and I think it's, don't take this in the wrong way. I'm starting to think that Jonathan Gruber may be the smartest man alive, because the stupidity of the American voter is just every day. It just seems to, get worse and worse in terms of how the public looks at things. I was listened to I read a poll today. Now again, we don't put a whole lot of stock in polls, but sometimes you have to mention them just because of what they're even asking. And you know that right now, 43% of America, 67% of Democrats polled, do not believe that Hillary Clinton having any health problems is relevant to her running for office. Okay, now I just think about that for a minute. Let's just put it all aside. Let's just say there's nothing wrong with her. All right, let's just play the liberals advocate for a second here. Nothing wrong with Hillary Clinton. She's taken all kinds of drugs for blood clots and thyroid problems and allergies and everything else. Of course, I guess with Hillary Clinton, and she has mild pneumonia. Okay, I've never known anybody that's had mild pneumonia, but anyway, mild pneumonia, and yet she's got blood pressure 100/70. Her cholesterol is perfect. She's just the picture of perfect health according to her doctors. But all that aside, I'm just going to say, okay, let's say the doctors haven't been paid a whole lot of money to say this. And then I turn around and say, well, do you think anybody? Let's put it in another perspective. We find out tomorrow that Donald Trump has high blood pressure, just high blood pressure. All right, because he's so hyper when he talks, right, and the things he talks about. How do you think the media would be playing that? Okay, Hillary Clinton's a picture of perfect health. She can't walk 50 feet. She can't climb stairs by herself. She has to sit when she's at the podium. But 47% of America, 67% of Democrats said that her health is not an issue. Just think about that, guys. They don't care if the President of the United States is healthy. They don't care if they can perform their duties. Of course, then again, they might be right, because everything the government touches, when they decide to do something, turns to crap. So I don't know. Maybe maybe they're smarter than I think. I don't know. Anyway, just one of those things, those circular thoughts that go through your head, and you wonder who's losing their mind. Is it America or is it me? I don't know. Anyway, having said that, let me get my partner in crime on here. Joe, how are you doing today?
You're not losing your mind, but Gruber, he might not be the smartest guy, but he might be a perceptive individual. I mean, there are other things going on in the government we have right now, John, is really they're still at it, okay? They're at it right now. They're going to continue to be at it. And the latest example is our wonderful elected representatives. I'm using big air fingers quotes here right now, okay? Big quotations here. Our representatives are up there working on a 10-week resolution, and basically it's going to just set up the lame duck. It's just going to be another debacle, okay? And so they're just going to be up there, and they're going to be just held on. Let me read a statement from the Heritage Foundation about our great representatives right in D.C. that are doing this stuff right now. I mean, everybody's about Donald Trump, this and Hillary and their health and all that. You know, these guys are up there right now, and they're gonna do some real harm here in the next 10 weeks. Okay, here's from the Michael Needham, Chief Executive Officer, Heritage Action here. Post-election lame duck sessions are designed to avoid the will of the American people. The sessions result in a last-minute deal cutting that undermines governmental transparency and conservative priorities. Lawmakers should not pass a stopgap funding bill that requires additional actions in a lame duck session. Is that all you've heard about? Or if you've heard about anything going on right now in D.C. about, hey, the end of the fiscal year is coming up and the government's going to shut down and they have to do something. That's about all you're going to hear. But this is what they're working on. Moreover, exchange and temporary policy writers, even temporary conservative writers, successfully forced upon the Senate for such a session will give President Obama and unaccountable lawmakers one more chance to pass permanent policies in the dead of night. And America cannot afford to give them any more chances. And that's from Michael Needham of the Heritage Foundation. So that pretty much sums it up for me. It's like they don't deserve another chance, but yet they're going to take the chance. I just say call them up, email them, let them know, shine the light on them. But a lot of them are going to do what they're going to do anyway because they know they don't have to be held accountable for it, especially those that don't get reelected. But what's the chance of that? 90% of everybody gets reelected now.
Yeah. Well, it makes you want to know. It makes you want to think. We've had experiments across this country with a 4-day work week. Okay, people work 10 hours a day for 4 days, and then they get 3 days off. All right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of wondering, maybe what we need to do with Congress is we say, okay, you get elected, let's say House of Representatives, okay? You get elected for 1 year, or you get elected for 2 years. They serve a 2-year term, all right? You have to work every day for the first year, and we don't want you to do anything the second year because the year that you're getting elected, the year that you're up for re-election, you don't want to do anything.
Except try to get reelected.
Except try to get reelected. So let's give you that. Work your ass off or do something for a year, and we'll give you another year to figure out what to do. To get reelected. Of course, the real answer is what? Term limits. That's the real answer. But I'm just saying, maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe that's what we need to do to the president. 4-year term, and we'll do this. We don't want you doing anything the last year unless it's absolutely necessary.
Really? That's what Obama's been doing now.
Yeah.
For crying out loud. That's all he's done. I mean, he hasn't. Look how much he's just screwed around and screwed off.
Yeah.
On our dime.
Well,
speaking of our dime,
John.
Speaking of our dime, tomorrow, people, is Constitution Day.
Yes. I was just looking at that today. I was looking at my calendar and noticed it was on there. Okay, on the calendar I have actually has Constitution Day on it. You won't find that on a lot of calendars these days. You'll find Halloween and Valentine's Day and all that other junky stuff, but you won't find Constitution Day. But, the calendar I have, I saw that. So, Constitution Day, those of you who don't know what the Constitution is, you should look it up. All right?
Yeah, that'd be really nice to look it up. Maybe take a little read.
Yeah. Maybe read it a little bit. Yeah. Maybe even try to understand what you're reading.
I don't know what kind of translator you're going to have to put that through. So really, I mean, to knock it down to today's third grade level.
Yeah.
Yesteryear's third grade level is equivalent to this day and age's seventh grade level.
Well, there's no. I know out here in California, they're telling us that the average high school student today is graduating with the reading and comprehension level of about a fifth grader. So I figure, okay, well, at least they qualify to run for Congress. All right, so
yeah, you're talking term limits. Yeah, John McCain is a walking poster child for term limits.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Him and I know there's somebody else out there I was thinking of.
Boxer, Sheila Jackson Lee. I mean, the list can go on and on and on. Yeah. But again, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Yeah. Okay, guys, look, we got to go to a break here. It's our break time here. When we come back, we'll get into today's festivities. We've got Bob Cardosa from Robert Cardosa Live with us today at the bottom of the hour, and Glo Smith, who's running once again for the congressional seat out in Florida, 5th District, after Corinne Brown was ousted in the primary for, I guess it takes a lot of indictments, 24 indictments for corruption. They finally got rid of that woman. And so Glo Smith is going to be with us in the next hour, second hour. So stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. Don't go. A healthy attitude toward politics will always be relentlessly cynical. TheConservativeSyndicate.net, doing our part to keep America healthy.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. Then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-790-5960. That's 1-800-790-5960. Again, 1-800-790-5960. Call now.
Limited time offer, 24-month commitment and credit qualification require cancellation fee, auto pay, and paperless billing, and other restrictions apply. If you can't see the difference, why pay the difference? Switch to Dish for the best deal in entertainment. Only Dish brings you the best in entertainment for less than $20 a month. Cut the cable and don't get directed. Switch to Dish because at just $19.99, Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. It's so simple. The same channels cost less with Dish. So since you can't see the difference, don't pay the difference. Switch to Dish for the best deal in entertainment. Get premium movie channels free for 3 months, starting at just $19.99. Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. Call now to save with Dish. Dial 1-800-600-1645. That's 1-800-600-1645. The same channels for less than $20 a month. Dish. Call 1-800-600-1645 for details.
Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardosa. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardosa Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosalive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosalive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did.
Attention taxpayers. If you've received a notice from the IRS or state, do not ignore it. It's also a big mistake to try and handle your tax problem on your own. If you owe back taxes, it's a fact that the government has the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, wages, savings, and your freedom. But here's the good news. There's a special toll-free tax hotline set up especially for you. This tax hotline will tell you about new programs that are geared to help you dramatically settle, reduce, or eliminate what you owe. But you have to call now. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone. But call 866-761-0959. 1-866-761-0959. 866-761-0959. When you call, you get free information on how you can reduce or eliminate back taxes, including penalties and interest. You can also be helped if you have unfiled returns, a tax lien, wage garnishment, bank levy, or if you've been entered into a payment plan but can't make the payments. Don't make the big mistake in thinking you can ignore or handle your tax problem on your own. You can stop the collection process immediately. Call this special tax hotline today for free info at 1-866-761-0959. That's 1-866-761-0959. 1-866-761-0959.
Am I not speaking English?
The Conservative Syndicate.net, where we speak only one language, American. Okay, hey, we're back. This is the Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives, and I am your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos. And I want to get into talking our first topic of the day. Let's call this Lightweight Friday, okay? In terms of depth or, really getting in deep on something today, probably not going to go there too much, but we are going to have we're going to have fun bashing Hillary today. This is going to be, you can call it Bash Hillary Day, or we can call it Light Friday. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Or Hillary Light. There you go. We get kill two birds with one stone there. And I want to talk about the media, how the media is responding to this Clinton health issue here. These guys are spinning so much they're dizzy. And I've got a couple of articles here that I'm going to share with you and read paragraphs of these things verbatim, because when you put it in context, contradiction after contradiction within the same line of thought. It's amazing. I don't know how liberals actually do get anything done, because they're constantly working in contradiction. But I guess if you just do enough stuff, something will happen, if for no other reason, by default. Of course, there could be the other side of it, is that the Republicans don't do anything. So if somebody's moving and the other person isn't, well, yeah, I guess something gets done. Anyway, Joe, you got a clip you wanted to open with, because I think this might be a good lead-in to our topic on this segment.
Well, we just know how the media that follows Clinton around is just a hard-hitting bunch of groups, hard-hitting group, and they're going to be out there just going to ask her the hardest questions possible. I mean, this is from, I believe it was yesterday. I think she went to North Carolina, and the press was there, and Hillary got on the plane, and she's telling them, "Hey, we're together again, or better together," or whatever the hell that Marxist slogan that she has. I don't really care, but talking, she's probably happy to get away from all its deplorables, and this is just her on the plane, and just listen to the press, how hard-hitting and just how tough they are on Hillary. This is really awesome.
Doing great. Thank you, sir. I think Jen and Nick have suggested we do an actual avail on the next leg, if that's okay. So we'll get to North Carolina, we'll do the speech, and then we'll get back on, and then we can answer questions and go from there. You might want to the last 3 days. I'll talk about that later too. I'll talk about that later.
That'll be tonight after the newscast.
It's done. I am so sad.
Now, just so you know, they asked her, "What have you been doing the last few days?" And then they're asking her, "So tell us, what you've been binge watching television show and listen to Hillary?"
I know, I really am. It's really a loss. Madam Secretary, however, is coming back, so that's something to look forward to. No, I actually get a big kick out of it. I watched it with, I watched it with a little bit of skepticism at first, but I got so into it and really liked the storylines. They had some good quasi-realistic storylines. So anyway, can you do that?
Something about North Carolina? Why North Carolina?
Can we do something excited to get to North Carolina?
So when anybody actually asked a question about, "Hey, why are you going to North Carolina?" and everything, Mrs. Clinton obviously doesn't want to ask any real questions about anything really important. She'd want to tell us all about her binge TV habits, and while she's out there, meanwhile, we might have problems here and that. So this is what you can expect from Commander-in-Chief Hillary Clinton. if she gets to be elected, because if she has any issues, she's just going to binge watch Madam Secretary for, I don't know, a few months or so.
Maybe she's trying to figure out how to actually be a secretary. That's why she's watching the show.
Well, she thought it was probably like, hey, that's about me, but I would never have done that.
Yeah, that's like watching, what was the other guys? The West Wing. Who was that? Martin
Sheen.
Martin Sheen, right? You know that people actually were going to him when he was doing that show and asking him about foreign policy and stuff. The media would actually ask him what his views on things. I'm thinking, the guy can't talk without a script, for crying out loud. I mean, well, I guess that's right. There's a qualifier for you. Obama can't talk without a teleprompter.
Yeah, with Obama, it's the same darn thing. But, that's the question. And she come back and say, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do availability after I do my North Carolina thing. And then we're going to, and what have you been doing the last couple of days? Oh, I was watching, TV. I was been watching, let's see, what was the one show, stuff that I don't bother watching, but let's see. Oh, I'm just going through. Oh, yeah. I have to talk about the reporter joke that perhaps Ben watched The Good Wife. It's done. I'm so sad. Remember, she's in there. I'm so sad. I really am. Oh, I really am. Madam Secretary is, however, coming back. That's something to look forward to. Really? That's the kind of questions we're getting from the press. Not like, hey, how come you didn't tell us about your pneumonia beforehand? Why did you have to take the 2 days off? Or nothing like that. Let's actually, and then when it actually got a question about the campaign, she's like, "Oh, I have to talk to you later."
Yeah.
She's running towards the front of the airplane that she's on.
Yeah. Now you know what? This is kind of I'm going out here in my mad prophet limb here right now, because this is what I'm talking about. I mentioned here earlier last week, end of last week, beginning of this week, that she's going to use this condition that she's got to try to either avoid the debates or perhaps reschedule them, postpone them, because if you have the debate, the closer you have the debate to the election, the least amount of damage would be, be done. And you're talking about the scheduling of these things to begin with, you schedule them on, let's see, by the time, we should have, in October, if they can hold this off till October, baseball playoffs start. The World Series is in October. So you got all these playoff games going on in the week and everything. And you schedule a debate across from a baseball game instead of the Super Bowl, that kind of thing. And she's either going to try to delay or postpone or cancel or whatever because of her health condition.
Well, maybe she could be in a hammock or something, and she can just lie down in a hammock and do the debate that way.
Yeah, now let's look at just what happened here. She's on the aircraft. She's got press people with them. And she's like, okay, well, after I get done with North Carolina, I'll get together with you guys and we'll have some serious rap, How much you want to bet after the North Carolina rally or wherever she's going, with a fundraiser, whatever it is, she's too sick to talk to the press on the way back.
Well, this was yesterday. Did you hear anything out of Hillary Clinton after the North Carolina thing? I certainly haven't.
No, I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard any reports. But, it underscores this post that I had mentioned briefly earlier in the week here. New York Post, Michael Goodwin, and he talks about how his title of his article here, Hillary collapse coverage reveals absurdity of biased media. Okay, now what he says is, I'll read the first three paragraphs of this. This is what I'm going to do today with some of these articles. I'm just going to read them to you because it's better than me trying to paraphrase them. It is said that history turns on small hinges, and now maybe the presidential race does too. For hinges don't get much smaller than the 20-second video of Hillary Clinton collapsing and being lifted into her security vehicle. Without it, Americans would still be clueless about Clinton's serious health issues. Because of it, she was forced to admit she has pneumonia. Because they were scooped by the video, an army of journalists is now under pressure to report facts instead of covering them up. Most important, voters get fresh proof that Clinton's first instinct is to lie, and then lie again. Those are just some of the immediate aftershocks of that little video. If my hunch is correct, the fallout is just beginning and eventually will result in voters learning the whole truth of Clinton's condition. Start with the fact that she humiliated the so-called best and brightest news organizations. Despite her unshakable reputation for being dishonest and untrustworthy, Clinton nonetheless managed to snooker most mainstream outlets into believing that her coughing fits were just allergies. These organizations were so gullible that they created a protective circle around her, doing a modern imitation of the correspondents of the past who refused to photograph FDR in a wheelchair or refused to reveal JFK's and LBJ's White House trice. The press corps swallowed Clinton's claim that her health was fine. All right, now, so this is why the media is being the way they are right now. They really don't want to admit that either one, they were taken to the cleaners and snowed into thinking, because we're finding out that very few people on the Clinton campaign even knew what was going on with her. Even the people that are working for her didn't really know what was going on with her. Who probably knew? Her campaign manager, maybe Huma Abedin, maybe Cheryl Mills, a couple of the real inner circle, maybe Bill knew.
Yes, Bill knew. Just look at the interview he did with CBS.
Yeah, and actually, I want to cover that. I want to talk about that also. But the whole point being is the media right now has been embarrassed by this, because as he says here, had that video not been picked up by somebody standing there with a cell phone taking it, we still wouldn't know how serious her health condition is. He says, well, we wouldn't know that she has a health condition. Well, we do know she has that, but we wouldn't know how serious it was, and it has forced her to go into this spin mode where now what it is, we've gone from what? We've gone from fatigue. We've gone from fatigue from a virus and a blood clot, to fatigue from dehydration, to now the story is what? She just works so damn hard that her health is failing her, and she won't take a sick day, and she won't go to doctors because she's just so damn committed and dedicated.
She powers through, John.
Yeah,
Let's get the terminology down. She powers through.
Yeah, she just powers through, and she just keeps going. And now I want to share with you real quick here. Let's see how we go. Okay, I got a few minutes with this. This article that came out here. Lisa Lerner and Ken Thomas from the Associated Press. Clinton has history of ignoring health and paying a price. And what do they say? At least part of the blame to her health condition goes to a simple cause. Clinton's stubborn unwillingness to follow the advice of doctors, family, and friends. This is just who she is. She's a workhorse. No matter who tells her, her husband can tell her, it doesn't matter. Chelsea can tell her, said Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe. Okay, the president of the Hillary Clinton fan club, all right, a Democrat who served as chairman of her 2008 presidential campaign. You're not going to change her at this point in her life. Clinton was determined to power through, she told CNN late Monday. The public and most of her campaign were kept in the dark. Her running mate, Virginia Senator Tim Kaine, and her campaign manager, Robbie Mook, declined to say when they first learned about her condition. The decision to keep going was one that Clinton, who suffers seasonal allergies that can become a vicious cough, came to regret. The Democrat has now taken a few days off in the campaign trail, forced to the sidelines at a critical point in the fall election, and her supporters now are trying to turn the episode into a badge of honor and a credential for the White House. This is a woman who works 20 hours a day. Here's my point. This is a woman who works 20 hours a day and comes into contact with tens of thousands of people, and you pick up germs and viruses and things like that, and you get exhausted. If you don't get a cold or a virus or flu or pneumonia in a campaign, you're not working hard enough. That's from Governor Daniel Malloy of Connecticut. Here's my point. When in the existence of mankind has Hillary Clinton ever come in contact with tens of thousands of people?
Well, not this campaign.
All right, coming in contact with tens of thousands of people. That's I mean, she's never had a rally that's had tens of thousands of people. Maybe if we took all the 300 filled gyms that she's gone to over the course of her 40 years in office, yeah, maybe she's got tens of thousands of people, but she doesn't come in contact with the people. She's not out there rubbing skin with them. She's not talking to these people.
So they expect you to believe that there's 4 hours in a day that Hillary Clinton is not doing something for the American people.
Exactly. That's
4 hours in a day.
That's the spin. That's the spin. Okay. And then further contradictions. We'll get to here. We got to take a break. We'll have Bob Cardoso on with us from Robert Cardoso Live when we get back here. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. Don't go.
Talk Radio, WRS Cleveland. Ever wonder how the credit card companies make their money? Well, think about this. If you owe $25,000 on 5 different credit cards and you make your minimum payments every month, here's what it's going to cost you. Are you sitting down? You'll shell out over $13,000 in additional interest, and it's going to take over 13 years to pay off your original $25,000 balance. That's how they make money. Now it's your turn to fight back by calling the Debt Solutions Network. We'll work on your behalf to reduce your debt. We specialize in credit cards, retail store cards, and medical bills. We promise we can and will reduce your debt. Call right now for a free 15-minute debt analysis. 800-709-4392. 800-709-4392. 800-709-4392. 800-709-4392.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
When I had a heart attack at 42, I was not sure what the future held. But a year later, the doctors could find nothing wrong with me and took me off all my medication. What did I do? I took a herbal mixture of garlic, cayenne, and a few other herbs mixed in liquid form. I now call this Extendovite. I would have never believed that a few simple herbs could actually change my life like they did. Now it's your turn to see what the powers of garlic and cayenne can do for you. For only $69.95 plus shipping and handling for a 2-month supply of either capsules or liquid, you too can begin on your path to better health. For more information, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
I've owned my company for 14 years now, and I can tell you that payroll is a 4-letter word. I hate doing it. It eats up hours I don't have, and it costs me money I could be saving. But my accountant's too expensive, and I'm not sure who to call, but I know I need help.
We're Paychex, and we take all the hassles out of small business payroll. We save you time and money. It's easy. Call, fax, or give us your payroll information securely online, and we take care of the rest. We calculate the correct taxes, manage payments and direct deposits. We even send out your checks. Payroll doesn't need to be a 4-letter word anymore. We're so sure that we can save you time and money that we'll give you a month's payroll free. Just for calling 877-663-3830. Get 1 month's payroll for free. Call Paychex right now. 877-663-3830. That's 877-663-3830.
Hey, I don't back anybody unless I believe in them. And I do believe in the value of investing in gold and silver. And the company I trust to buy my gold and silver from is Swiss America. I've been working with them for nearly a decade. I trust them, and you can too. Swiss America will help you sort through and find the best options available when you're considering investing in gold and silver coins. Listen, for over 30 years, Swiss America has been offering Americans what they want in their investments: safety, liquidity, quality, reliability, and a potential profit. Gold and silver have a place in every investor's portfolio. So, why not let Swiss America help you diversify your investment portfolio now? Call now for free information. 800-978-3907. 800-978-3907. 800-978-3907. 800-978-3907.
If you've got joint pain, let me ask you a question. Would you like a high-quality knee, back, shoulder, or ankle brace at little or no cost? But just in case your reception isn't great, let me ask you again. Would you like a pain-relieving knee, back, shoulder, or ankle brace at little or no cost? Well, if you have Medicare insurance, you could qualify for these pain-relieving braces at little or no cost. And these are high-quality braces. They are very comfortable, and they've helped thousands relieve their pain. Now, I'd like you to imagine going on vacation, playing with your grandkids, just living your life again without pain. The Mobility Hotline is a referral service that connects folks with Medicare coverage and other insurance to accredited companies offering pain-relieving braces at little or no cost. And don't you worry about the Medicare paperwork. They'll handle it all for you. And they'll deliver your braces for free. Call the Mobility Hotline now. The call's free. 1-800-557-6150. 1-800-557-6150. 1-800-557-6150.
Am I not speaking English?
The Conservative Syndicate.net, where we speak only one language, American. Okay, hey, we're back, and you are listening to the Conservative Syndicate, Real Conservative Talk from Real Conservatives. I'm your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos. We should have Bob Cardosa calling in here any moment, and while we're doing that, while we're waiting for him, I just want to reiterate some numbers here. I'm looking at a piece. I saw this yesterday, and there's a poll that came out, a company called the Morning Consult poll. I don't know how reliable this is as a polling company, but it's just the content of what this particular poll indicates. It says that the poll found that 44% of registered voters believed Clinton's health would negatively affect her ability to serve as president, while 43% said it would not, and 13% had no opinion. All right, so we're talking about that politically demographic divide in the country of almost 50-50 on everything here. And I think one supports Mitt Romney's contention that 47% of the people would vote for any Democrat no matter what. It doesn't really make any difference. Now, I just want to reiterate here the numbers. The numbers match up closely with the amount of support each candidate has in the polls. This particular poll shows Clinton at 45% and Donald Trump at 43%. By party affiliation, 23% of Democrats said Clinton's health would negatively affect her ability to serve, while 44% of independents and 69% of Republicans believe the same. On the flip side, 67% of Democrats said it would not affect her ability to serve, while 39% of independents and 18% of Republicans said it would not. Okay, we got 18% of the Republicans out there thinking it wouldn't affect her. These are probably the people that are still pining for John Kasich or Jeb Bush. Now, it says here, this is the interesting one. Voters were also asked whether they would be more or less likely to vote for Clinton now that they're aware of her recent health concerns. The split was relatively even, with 19% saying that they were more likely to vote for Clinton. 19% saying they're more likely to vote for Clinton now that they know she's sick. Okay? And 24% saying that they were less likely.
That's the sick voting for the sick.
Yeah, roughly half, 49%, said it made no difference at all. Okay? But there's a 19% shift in people that will vote for her now that they know she's sick. I mean, how asinine can you get?
Yep. That's the reason why you have shows like The View on TV, or So You Think You Can Dance, or You Can Sing, and Whose Line Is It Anyway? No, that's a really old show. Yeah, I get you, John. These people are just they're mind numb.
Well, it just blows my mind. It just literally blows my mind that you've got people out there that even when they know the truth, they're just totally unaffected by it. Or affected in a completely negative way. Oh yeah, well, I wasn't going to vote for her before, but now that she's sick, she's got my vote. I mean, come on, really. This falls in line.
It's not healthy. I'll vote for her. Maybe she'll kill over and die before she can take office.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's, only 55% of the people polled believe that she'll live long enough to finish her term.
Oh, gee.
So I'm okay. Well, I guess maybe, maybe there's such discontent with government that it's like, yeah, we don't care if they're there or not. It has no effect on us one way or the other.
I wonder what Bill's bimbos have to say.
Unbelievable. But, getting back here to this situation here, Joe mentioned it briefly. I want to mention it also because this is what, let's highlight some things here, okay? Hillary Clinton is a picture of health, according to her doctors, all right? Now, this is the most recent release of information that we have as to Hillary Clinton's health record, all right? Here, I'm going to go through this real quick, bullet points. Clinton takes Coumadin, which is a blood thinner. Coumadin. Okay, now listen. The reason I bring that up is because her doctor has said that the condition that she was taking this medicine for, which was for a blood clot she got back in 2010 or something, when she fell down the stairs and had a concussion. Was it 2010, 2012, 2013, whenever she had it? Okay,
she started taking that for the deep vein thrombosis back in '98, and then when she fell down the stairs, let me see, I have this. It's 2012.
Okay, 2012. Okay, in 2012, she fell down the stairs, had a concussion. Yeah, she couldn't show up to the Benghazi hearing, and she developed a blood clot, and now she's taking this Coumadin, a blood thinner. But the doctor said that the blood clot was no longer there.
Well, yeah, it prevents it's a blood thinner, so it prevents clotting. But it also, since it prevents clotting, it also makes it, if you get it makes it a lot easier for you to bleed. If you get a cut, you're going to have to put something on it. You'll bleed more profusely than someone without taking Coumadin.
All right. Now, she has had several allergy flare-ups over the past year, a typical pattern for most of her life. So she's had allergies there. I'll give her that one. All right, I've got some allergies that flare up every now and then. So okay, I'll give her that. She had an ear infection and sinusitis in January of this year. The doctors treated it with antibiotics and steroids and placed a myringotomy. Myringotomy. I think that's how you say that. A tube in her left ear to help alleviate her symptoms. All right. Now, understand those tubes are normally used just for children, but they decided that they need to do that with her. Okay. All right. Now, along with that, let's see. What was the other one here? Her headline-making bout with pneumonia began as a low-level grade fever, congestion, and fatigue that progressed. As a result, she's taking Livaquine, another antibiotic. All right, now this is kind of what gets me here. Just this alone, you can't tell me that you're taking these types of medication, and in the course of that, the only thing that's happening, and your blood pressure is normal. That's what I'm getting at. There, in fact, it's low. They're saying she has low blood pressure. Okay. I don't know how that happens.
John, I'm sorry. I've been trying to get through to you. Couldn't get through.
Oh, that's okay, Bob. That's all right. We've had some ongoing issues here with Skype. Yeah, if you want to know who that is, that's Bob Cardosa here from Robert Cardosa Live. What I got here was a message here that there's something you need to update on your side to be able to join the call. So you need to, when you get off the phone today, you need to update your Skype.
Okay, I will do that.
Okay, all right, no problem at all.
So it's what I tell everybody. They say, "Hey, this stuff is we got users and you got job security." I go, "No, I don't have to have users for job security. I've got Microsoft."
Well, you know what, Joe? I think what I've got is the new iOS 10, and I think that's what did it.
No, it's Skype is now a Microsoft product, so that's enough said.
Yeah, it's just a. What do you hang up for?
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, all right. Yeah, I had you on the line, Bob. Maybe he's updating Skype now.
I would know he's trying again.
I'm back. Hey, you got me?
Yeah, we got you. We got you there. We were just getting ready to send our NSA people over there to straighten you out.
Give up on me. You know what? Here's the deal. Just don't consider me a Hillary. Do not give up on me. I'm going to be with you guys forever.
Well, we're waiting for you to tell us that you have perfect health, but you're on 3 different types of drugs.
And you're binge watching Madam Secretary.
Well, I am on perfect health. I am on many different types of drugs. Most of them keeping me very happy. But if you guys have been looking at Hillary and you've been looking at all the videos that are going on, all of the propaganda that they've been talking about, and you look at this video that some independent person took on their iPhone or whatever their smartphone was,
citizen journalist.
Yeah, you know what? This woman. She was already out cold before they even put her in the van. She couldn't move, and then the Secret Service came over and grabbed her by the arm, and she was about to go down on a 3-point landing. There's a lot more going on here than just pneumonia, I got to tell you.
Oh, come on, Bob! You don't believe what she's been sending out afterwards and telling us all about? She's the picture of health.
You know what? I've got a bridge in London I want to sell you, Joe.
That bridge is in Arizona now, buddy.
Oh, is that where it's at now?
Yes.
I was thinking about Tower Bridge actually.
Well, we were just talking here. Let me bring you up to snuff here, Bob.
Okay.
We were just talking here about the poll that just came out here by a company called the Morning Consult, and they found that 67% of the Democrats out there that they polled didn't think that Hillary's health issue would have any bearing at all on her ability to govern.
Oh, I'm absolutely confident that that's the truth. She's never had any ability to govern, and so this isn't going to change anything.
And guess what? Only 55% of them think she's going to live through her first term.
Well, you know what? I don't want to say that. You know what? I was going to say something, and God only knows, Joe, that you've been actually hacked by the FBI and everybody else. And if I said what I was going to say now, I'd probably get hacked too.
Well, that's okay. No, buddy, you've already been hacked. You just don't know it.
Yeah. Truth is that nothing would surprise me. This woman, you know what really actually surprises me is that all of a sudden this morning, Donald Trump is leading in all the polls. He's moving forward. Hillary Clinton is on the defensive where she should be. And the truth is that we actually have a chance here.
Well, they're going to in the next week or so haul out the big guns. Okay, Barack Obama's going to go back out on the trail for him. I'm sure if they ever let Tim Kaine go out and campaign by himself, apparently he can't be left alone. And of course, Bill's starting to make a little bit of a resurgence here. I'm sure Chelsea will be hitting the campaign trail. This is going to be a family affair here in the next couple of weeks or so.
Well, Kaine reminds me. Do you remember Looney Tunes? Who? Kaine reminds me of Porky Pig on Looney Tunes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yes, Joe, that's absolutely what it was.
Yeah, I get you here. Yeah. Well, since we had a little bit of difficulty getting you on today, Bob, but we got to take a quick break here. We'll be back. Stay with us right here. I want to talk to you about the Colin Powell situation here. This thing, I'm totally absorbed into what's going on with the Colin Powell email leaks. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. There is an old saying, children should be seen but not heard. At no time is this more apparent than when politicians speak. TheConservativeSyndicate.net, the adults in the room. Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosolive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosolive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did. History affirms a vibrant civil society thrives on freedom of conscience, religion, and choice. Any society absent these qualities stifles individual responsibility and accountability, thus enslaving its people by denying them their potential for goodness, creativity, and altruism. To that extent, oppression, coercion, and totalitarianism are multiplied exponentially. To counter such outcomes, the American Freedom Alliance was formed. The AFA is a nonpartisan, non-aligned movement which promotes, defends, and upholds Western values and ideals. The Alliance strives to build an international coalition of citizens of the West who together promote and protect moral values, democracy, and freedom. To find out more and become part of this valuable asset in the preservation of freedom and all its rewards, contact us at AmericanFreedomAlliance.org. That's AmericanFreedomAlliance.org. Let freedom ring.
Am I not speaking English?
The Conservative Syndicate.net, where we speak only one language, American. All right, hey, we're back, and you are listening to the Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from Real Conservatives. I'm your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos, and we've got with us Bob Cardosa from Robert Cardosa Live, who streams Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. out here in the West Coast, 6 to 8 out on the East Coast, and you can check him out at robertcardosalive.com and find out everything you want to know about our show. Bob, I want to get back to this. Apparently there was Colin Powell's emails were hacked by they were released by a company called DC Leaks. And even though they won't reveal their sources, the Powell people have confirmed that these emails are legitimate. So I want to put that little disclaimer out there right now, and just full disclosure here. And here's I'll take this comment that Powell apparently wrote in one of his emails. Get your take on this, okay? It says here that Powell offered what they called an acerbic, even crass description of what he saw as Clinton's liabilities as a presidential candidate, along with tabloid rumors about former President Bill Clinton's personal life in one July 2014 email exchange with New York financier Jeffrey Lees. I would rather not to have to vote for her, he says, although she is a friend I respect. A 70-year-old person with a long track record, unbridled ambition, greedy, non-transformational, and a husband still dicking bimbos at home. Now, I want you to comment on this. How many friends do you have talk to you about you like this?
I got to tell you, I have always admired and respected Colin Powell, and he has now just jumped up just multitudes in my admiration. The man obviously has the courage of his convictions and knows a crook when he hears one.
Well, wait a minute. He just called her a friend who she respects.
Well, yeah, he also called her for what she is.
Okay, so and it explains to me why he went from being a Republican to a Democrat.
He went from being a Republican to a Democrat when a black man was running for president, and I think that now he's going back the other way again. The truth is that here's a guy that has the inside information. I've always respected Colin Powell. I respected him when he actually moved from being a Republican to a Democrat. I respect him even more now because he has the courage of his convictions. The truth is, he's calling it the way he sees it. And most of his emails have been protected. But now that they've gone out, I think what we've really heard is what he really feels about what's going on in politics and in the administration and what's going on out there today. He's telling it the way it is, and it's the truth.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'll offer you this. I'll disagree with you at this level. I respect Colin Powell the same way I respect John McCain. I respect them for their service, what they did while they were in the service. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, they both suck. Okay, and the reason they both suck.
Hey, John, but if we had Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump or Colin Powell running today, where would your vote be?
Well, if I had to choose, I would choose milquetoast over Hillary Clinton. So that the bar is not very high there, Bob.
Okay, now we're down to two.
Okay.
And so if we're between Colin Powell and Donald Trump, where would you really be?
Well, up until this point, I would have probably been with Colin Powell. No, I would not have, because I don't believe the change from being a Republican to a Democrat because the guy running was black is justifiable.
Well, no, but I think that was the reason, don't you?
Oh yeah, oh sure it was. But that's not. See, that's not justifiable. What Colin Powell did when he changed parties was he proved he was an establishment type. He proved he'll go wherever the wind blows for whatever reason, and this is not like making a decision on where to put troops on the ground or this, that, and the other. I admire him for that. He was a good general. He did a good job. Okay, but when we start, this is the problem. You get up to his level, everything becomes politics, and so if your politics are going to dictate to you to put somebody like Barack Obama in the White House just because of the color of his skin, then that tells me that this guy has some deep-seated animosity about people that promoted him up through the ranks. And that makes him a Democrat by every definition of the word. Double-tongued, double-faced. No, he wouldn't get my vote.
Well, yeah, but I'm willing to vote for Donald Trump, and I believe that he's a bigot, and I believe that he's prejudiced, and I believe that he believes in a lot of things that I don't. But he also believes in something that I do, and that is that we have to shake up and change government.
Well, I disagree with you there. There's nothing that indicates that Donald Trump is a bigot other than what the media says about him.
Oh, well, other than what he refuses to negate. I mean, he doesn't really defend himself when the media actually accuses him of these things.
I wouldn't think, in all due respect, I wouldn't think that he should have to defend himself against accusations that are made as statements that he makes taken completely out of context.
Except that everybody who's a candidate for office appears to be the target of the media, and they have to defend themselves, or they're guilty of what the media suggests that they are.
Yeah.
So did you stop beating your wife, Bob?
Hey, never happened because she's stronger than I am.
Okay, sure. There's my point. And I'll tell you what, Colin Powell is just a walking example of the rubble that our generals are.
Right.
Just like Trump described them.
Yeah.
He's an example of that rubble.
Yeah. Here's a man that just, he did his job when he was office because he was allowed to do his job. I give him that. I would in no way degrade his service or anything that he accomplished as the head of the military. But outside of that, everything he has done is crap. Everything he supported is crap. Everybody he has supported is crap. Here's a guy that talks bad about the very people that gave him his freaking job. Donald Rumsfeld was an idiot. Dick Cheney's an idiot. I'm sorry. There isn't enough integrity there on the political level to get anything out of me. Donald Trump is at worst, brash. He's confrontational. But there's nothing in anything I've ever heard him say in context that tells me he is any way a bigot or a racist. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. So his support of David Duke, or his lack of
support David Duke, for crying out loud.
No. Come on, guys. He takes positions that are absolutely neutral. The guy he's not standing up for the things that we hope that he believes in. And the truth is that he's doing the smart thing. He's trying to get as many votes as he can get. I support Donald Trump because I want change, and I believe that he's better than anybody that's out there. But the truth is you can't deny the fact that 70% of the entire United States citizenry that is qualified to vote doesn't like either of the candidates that we have a choice of.
Okay, yeah, but here's the deal, and we're going to have to end it here because we're out of time. 70% of the people out there that are voting today are blooming idiots.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the thing with the electorate, that has no credibility at all. They're as dumb as the people running, if not worse.
Except that, unfortunately, the electorate is not going to elect the president. The media is.
Yeah, I get you there. I don't disagree with you in spirit, Bob. I do disagree with you in terms of how you're reading this. But anyway, we're out of time here. I got to really cut you short. You guys got to check Bob out at robertcordosalive.com. I'm like really short here. I got 30 seconds.
No problem.
Thanks so much for joining us, Bob. We'll talk to you on Monday. We'll continue this on Monday.
All right, take care, guys. Have a good weekend.
Okay, goodbye. Okay, guys. We gotta run the Edwards Notebook here. We'll be right back. Stay with us right here at the Conservative.
Does Senator Dirty Harry Reid live in a parallel universe, or is he plagued with an overactive imagination? Hello, I'm Ron Edwards. On today's page from the Edwards Notebook, the Senate's leading Democrat has proclaimed that the so-called Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, has been terrific for this country. One of the hallmarks of Obamacare, according to Reid, is that 92% of all Americans now have health insurance. Of course, he omitted the fact that Americans are being coerced into government so-called health care via tyrannical fines if we don't sign up. Oh yeah, and those massive deductibles. In fact, the Obama administration has told Obamacare subscribers to pay no attention to those big premium hikes. Of course, there's no need to worry because U.S. taxpayers are forced through legal edict to pick up the draconian tab. In Tennessee, people are bracing for a 62% increase in premium costs. Oh, but it gets even better. Many Americans will now pay 20% or more of their income for a health care plan, and then having a deductible that is so enormous. For example, the Bronze Plan, individual's deductible is $7,000. There's so much terrific news regarding Obamacare. Maybe I can persuade Senator Reid to help me find it. Please inform me if you do. I'm Ron Edwards.
A healthy attitude toward politics will always be relentlessly cynical. The Conservative Syndicate.net, doing our part to keep America healthy.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. Then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-790-5960. That's 1-800-790-5960. Again, 1-800-790-5960. Call now.
Limited time offer, 24-month commitment and credit qualification required. Cancellation fee, auto pay, and paperless billing and other restrictions apply. If you can't see the difference, why pay the difference? Switch to Dish for the best deal in entertainment. Only Dish brings you the best in entertainment for less than $20 a month. Cut the cable and don't get directed. Switch to Dish because at just $19.99, Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. It's so simple. The same channels cost less with Dish. So since you can't see the difference, don't pay the difference. Switch to Dish for the best deal in entertainment. Get premium movie channels free for 3 months, starting at just $19.99. Dish saves you every time you turn on the TV. Call now to save with Dish. Dial 1-800-600-1645. That's 1-800-600-1645. The same channels for less than $20 a month. Dish. Call 1-800-600-1645 for details.
Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosolive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosolive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did.
Attention taxpayers. If you've received a notice from the IRS or state, do not ignore it. It's also a big mistake to try and handle your tax problem on your own. If you owe back taxes, it's a fact that the government has the power to take everything you own, including your home, business, wages, savings, and your freedom. But here's the good news. There's a special toll-free tax hotline set up especially for you. This tax hotline will tell you about new programs that are geared to help you dramatically settle, reduce, or eliminate what you owe. But you have to call now. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone. But call 866-761-0959. 1-866-761-0959. When you call, you get free information on how you can reduce or eliminate back taxes, including penalties and interest. You can also be helped if you have unfiled returns, a tax lien, wage garnishment, bank levy, or if you've been entered into a payment plan but can't make the payments. Don't make the big mistake in thinking you can ignore or handle your tax problem on your own. You can stop the collection process immediately. Call this special tax hotline today for free info at 1-866-761-0959. That's 1-866-761-0959. 1-866-761-0959.
Hey, all you can do is just tell the truth and trust in the American people that over time they're going to know what the truth is.
Yes, it is time for the truth. Right here, right now. This is the Conservative Syndicate. Real conservative talk from real conservatives. With your host, John Matthews.
It's a latter-day prophet, weighing against the hypocrisies of our time.
And Joe Hakos.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
The Conservative Syndicate is comprised of some of the most informed pundits and activists available today. Together, we seek to tear down the imaginary wall, a separation between church and state through education, information, and engagement on the religion of politics and the politics of religion. And now, your host on the globally syndicated Conservative Syndicate, John Matthews and Joe Hakos.
All right, hey, we're back. Hour 2 right here at the Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives. I'm your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos. Hey, just a quick mention here. You might want to check out our website this weekend, theconservativesyndicate.net, and pick up this archive if you want to listen to it again or you want to share it with somebody, or any of our archives, theconservativesyndicate.net. I want to. This is our short segment here, so we're expecting Glo Smith to come on here after our next break here, and but I want to talk about this. I forgot about this, and I'm just going to bring it back up here. I was going to cover this. What I mean is I had made it a note to take this article and talk about it, and I didn't put it in my notes today, but I was reminded here as I was surfing the net during the break here. How many of you have ever out there, and you go on one of these candidates' websites, and Hillary Clinton, I think I mentioned this months ago, you go to Hillary Clinton's website, okay? You cannot get into her website just by clicking on it and going, take me to the website. You get on a landing page that basically asks you to donate. And you can't get into the website unless you donate or sign up on their email list. Okay? I would do neither. I went to a website a couple of times. I'm not signing up because I get all the love mail I need from Organizing for America and the DNC headquarters and all those other outfits that are out there running their leftist agenda here. And anyway, so some people, might do that. Some people might go to her campaign website and, okay, yeah, I'll give her $5, to get the bumper sticker, I'm with her or whatever, I'm with stupid, whatever their latest little mantra is. And but here's what's going on right now. Once they get access to your checking account.
I know where you're going now. I was wondering where you were going with that.
I'm looking at this. This is from The Observer. Hillary Clinton campaign is systematically overcharging the poorest donors. Wells Fargo fraud department inundated with calls from low-income Clinton supporters reporting repeated unauthorized charges. And they show a picture here from U.S. Bank. And this is from Carol Mayer is the name of the person on this. And they have taken 3 donations out of her account without her authorization. $25 on the 18th. $25 on the 18th twice, and then $19 on March 29th. And so they're going into these checking accounts and they're just systematically taking donations. Now, here's the thing. You would call them up. What would you do? You're going to call your bank up and say, hey,
stop.
This shouldn't be going on. And somebody will say to you, did you read the small print when you signed up, which says you are agreeing to the terms and conditions of coming into this website, which is that we're going to systematically take money out of your account. That's how they work. Nobody ever reads those things. You just click on it, okay? And you want to get to the website. Click here to agree to the terms and conditions, and they usually have a little link. You can read them here. Nobody reads them. They click on it, and they go in. Okay, I'm going to give the lady $5 for a stupid bumper sticker.
Yeah, it's boilerplate stuff that no one reads.
Yeah, and nobody reads this stuff, okay?
You read it once, it's all the same, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, okay? And here's my point. How many times have you heard people like Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton try to tell you that the majority of their donors are people that are giving $27.23 on an average? Okay? It's not the big corporations. It's not the union. It's the little guy. Well, apparently that's the case. It's just the little guy doesn't know about it.
Yeah, the little guy doesn't know about it. He's doing it $20 a time, 30 times a month.
Yeah, and they're doing it in these increments. Why? Because any transaction over $100 triggers something in the bank, and the bank will notify their clients and say, hey, something's happening here in your account. So they take these small amounts because nobody notices it. Okay, nobody says anything. Okay, it says that the overcharges are occurring so often that the fraud department at one of the nation's biggest banks receives up to 100 phone calls a day from Clinton's small donors asking for refunds for unauthorized charges to their bank cards made by the Clinton campaign. Okay? And so there you go. There's your honesty, your transparency. This is what you can expect out of something like the Clinton campaign. Okay? Yeah, we'll give you all these tax rebates, tax credits. I will give you all this stuff, but then we're going to take it back. Okay? But the point being, this is all being done and being used as propaganda that most of the people contributing to her campaign is the small guy. And the reason why is because the small guy isn't aware of what's going on. And it's hitting the poorest of the poor. All right? The people with the fixed income, Social Security, things like that. No wonder she wants to expand Social Security. Is that like a rebate? All right, guys. Hey, we got to go to our quick break here. When we come back, we should have Glo Smith with us from the 5th District down in Florida. Stay with us right here at the Conservative Syndicate. Don't go away.
A healthy attitude toward politics will always be relentlessly cynical. TheConservativeSyndicate.net, doing our part to keep America healthy.
Prices are for base buildings only. May not be available in some areas. Attention business owners, do you want a stimulus package that really works? Before you spend thousands of dollars more than you should on your next building project, listen to this. General Steel has a stimulus package designed to help you save as much as half the cost of conventional construction on your next building. As much as half. That's right, General Steel can save you thousands of dollars with a pre-engineered steel building designed for your business or church. How about a 50 by 100 foot building for under $30,000? So don't pay thousands more than you should without calling General Steel first and save as much as half the cost and time of conventional construction. With the projected demand for steel in Japan and China, prices may be skyrocketing.
877-927-3360. 877-927-3360. 877-927-3360.
Term life insurance. It can be a powerful way to protect your assets and your family. You work hard to earn and save your money to build a nest egg for the future. Don't let it get wiped out because you didn't plan ahead. Take the time now and make a small investment in $500,000 or more in quality term life insurance. Call the Term Lifeline and let us shop the best companies to give you the lowest rates. We specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. Ask about some of our 10 and 20-year fixed rate plans with with guaranteed rates. Call the Term Lifeline right now for your free insurance quote. 800-870-3609. 800-870-3609. You owe it to yourself to protect your family and your assets. Make term life insurance part of that plan. Call the Term Lifeline right now. 800-870-3609. 800-870-3609.
Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosolive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosolive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did.
Read something recently worth thinking about. It's the soldier, not the campus organizer, who's given us freedom to demonstrate. It's the soldier, not the reporter, who's given us freedom of the press. It's the soldier, not the poet, who's given us freedom of speech. It's the soldier who serves under the flag, who defends the protesters' right to burn the flag. Isn't it time now to demonstrate that we support our troops? Were it not for the brave, there'd be no land of the free.
Fred Thompson's message was brought to you by citizensunited.org.
Am I not speaking English?
The Conservative Syndicate.net, where we speak only one language, American. All right, hey. You're listening to the Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives. And just bear with us here a minute. We're having a little bit of a problem here trying to hook up with Glo Smith, and it won't let me add her to the call. So let's see if I can get it done here. I guess what I have to do here, I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to have to add her here, I guess, and then we'll see if we can add her that way. And but it won't let me do that either. So I got a problem here. She's trying to call in. So I don't know what the deal here is. Hey, Joe, why don't you do me a favor here? Talk about something here while I'm trying to figure out how to get her hooked up here.
Well, we're trying to get Glo on, and Glo is going to run in a congressional district race here in Florida. And she's going to be running against a guy that's been in our circles here where I'm at, because he ran against our local congressman here in CD2 a couple times. This is Al Lawson. Al Lawson defeated Corrine Brown, who was indicted for quite a bit of things, like 20 indictments or something, if I remember right. I mean, she was basically, she had all kind of issues. So poor Corrine's gone, and now Glo is going to try to defeat Mr. Lawson in the upcoming election here in November for the CD5, Congressional District 5 in Florida here, which goes from the eastern side of Tallahassee all the way over to Jacksonville, Florida, which is quite a distance. If you have a map nearby, it's quite a it's heck, it's a couple-hour drive if you're doing it on I-10 here on the interstate. So it's just it's been redistricted, and hopefully Glo can pull this one off, because it was kind of hard to defeat Corrine Brown in the old district, as it was gerrymandered to such a point where she was very safe in her district. She never really had to worry about it. But obviously things had changed after they redistricted and included counties more to the west of Jacksonville. And a lot of these folks didn't really know Corrine Brown, but they did know Al Lawson from his time here. in this part of the state. So that's the reason why we have that. Hopefully, John's been able to maybe somewhat get Glow somewhere. Maybe talk to her. Maybe we could string up some phone, a couple tin cans, and some string or something. That would be awesome. We'll see what happens here. I see some things happening here, and so it'd be really good. It's going to be fun and exciting because Glow and Mr. Lawson are scheduled to have a debate soon.
Are you there, Glow?
Hello, Glow.
Hi, how are you, John?
All right, we got you. We
Glow
got you.
Smith, everybody.
Thank you so much for having me on the call. How are you doing?
All right, how are you doing? That's more of the question these days.
You know what? I am just doing so well. I'm so excited about this race and the opportunities that we have. Really, I think for the first time since redistricting, to have a Republican represent Florida's 5th District.
That'd be awesome.
Yes. Why don't you fill in our listeners on the latest here? The last time we had you on the show, you were running against, what's her name? Corinne Smith, was that her name?
Corinne Brown.
I'm sorry.
Brown. Uh-huh.
And she was pretty solid down there. She was solidified, even though she falls in the same ranks with Wasserman Schultz down there, corrupt up to her nose. And I understand now that in the primary, I guess having 24 indictments was enough to get her booted out of the primary. And so now it looks like you've really got a good chance of taking the position this time.
Right, I do. You know, she lost to Elle Lawson, who I will challenge on November the 8th. And what's really neat about this new district is the makeup is so uniquely different. You know, in the new district, we have several rural areas. We have Jacksonville, Florida, and Tallahassee, which pretty much mimics itself. But 60% of the votes come from Jacksonville alone. So that's a good thing because that's my hometown. That's where I was born and raised. That's where I raised my family. So that's a great thing. But additionally, we've got 6 other rural counties. And the difference is the Democrats in the rural areas are Second Amendment Democrats. They're hunters. They own their own farms. They dare you to try to take their guns, you know. So that's really different from the old district, which went from Jacksonville to Orlando. But more importantly, as I get out there and I meet the new voters, you know, the issues really are the same in so many areas. People need jobs. They want to be able to take care of their families. They want strong, safe, and healthy communities. That's just common across the board. Interesting enough, in the rural areas, they're also having challenges with property rights, environmental issues, and what that looks like for their environments, whether it's their farming or their forestry. And then water rights are a huge issue for Florida, period, but definitely in this new district that I'm running in. So I've had to learn quite a bit, guys.
Well, I understand, again, for our listeners, if you don't know what's happened here, the district that Glow is running in right now had some issues with gerrymandering. It was basically the reason it was such a solid Democratic district was because of the way the district lines have been drawn up, and it went to court, and the Democrats lost that also. So that's kind of opened the doors. The district was redrawn, or what was it? Was reestablished? Was it redrawn or put back to what it originally was?
No. It was actually redrawn, a very new district, and it's interesting because the Fair District Act came about in 2010. Actually, it was started to be pushed in 2008 by the Democrats and by very secure left-leaning organizations. And what they knew was if they can get this one district redrawn, which went from Jacksonville to Orlando, that they could possibly pick up another 2 to 3 seats that had been in solid Republican territory. So it was worth sacrificing the Congresswoman for this seat. Well, she continued to file lawsuit after lawsuit. It finally went to the Florida Supreme Court where she lost. Then she filed a lawsuit with the U.S. Supreme Court. But I was thinking, like so many other people, as you looked at the decisions that the U.S. Supreme Court had been making over the last year regarding gerrymandered districts throughout our country, the states had won overwhelmingly. All of those cases, they were winning. It was not until the week of qualification that the Congresswoman actually dropped the lawsuit. So she had issues there. And now for the first time in a long time, she's got 2 Democrats challenging her for her seat. Not it wasn't just the indictment. It was the fact that she had these two other Democrats that were taking votes away. Well, one very specifically was taking votes away from her in Jacksonville, in our home area. But then you had the other candidate out of the Tallahassee area who was winning the rural counties and who was winning everything except for Jacksonville. And so it's just been really interesting to see what's happening. But one of the things that I love about this new district is that no one has a stronghold like she did in the old district. So it's up for grabs. There has been research that have shown, regardless of if the district is Republican or Democrat, whenever the incumbent has been indicted on federal charges, for that election cycle immediately following that indictment, it has flipped, at least for one election cycle, to the opposite party. So we also have that working in our favor.
I think that's been one of the biggest lies when we talk about drawing district lines, is that these districts are supposedly need to be redrawn because a certain demographic is being misrepresented or not represented enough. I think that's a big issue we have out here in California, is they keep redrawing the districts here in order to actually create more seats in the state assembly, and that's why they have such a lock on us right now. It's not that they're, if the districts were left the way that they were, and you bring up an interesting point, one that I think is that when you draw a district up, it actually should be pretty close to half and half. I don't think you should say, well, we got this certain part of the country, the county here or the city that isn't being represented enough. They're not getting enough from government, so we'll make our own little district over here. That's how people like Debbie Wasserman Schultz stays in power.
Exactly.
And we've seen that all across the country. Like I said, California is a microcosm now of what you should not ever allow to happen, because we can't wrest control from these people, even though over the elections the last couple of years out here, we've had a couple of special elections, and we've been able to put some good conservatives in office. It's just there's not enough of them because there's so many now Democrats out here.
Exactly.
The districts have been redrawn. So I'm curious now, who's your main competition out here now that Brown is gone?
Well, there's a man named Al Lawson who, as his counterpart described him as a recycled politician. He has been in the Florida House and the Florida Senate for over 20 years. He ran for Congress twice, lost against two Democrats. So he did win. I will tell you, he had Republican support to help get Corrine out of office during the primary. But we need someone with fresh new ideas. We don't need a recycled politician. We need someone who's going to come in and look at the entire district and want to represent all the people. And so that in and of itself makes it.
Are you there? Well, I think we lost her there. But she was making a very good point there. I thought a very valid point is that we don't need the recycled politicians. We don't need the people that are just basically just rehash or coming and moving their way up the ranks. Are you there, Becklow? Okay,
she's working on it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm seeing here that they're trying to get the call back. We got disconnected from her there.
Okay, hey, I'm sorry. Are you guys there?
Yeah, we got disconnected from you. But you were making a good point there, is that we don't need the recycled stuff. We don't need people that are either moving up the ladder, coming up from maybe a city council place to a state assembly to a congressional house seat or whatever. I'm curious to find out how much support are you getting from the Republican Party itself?
Well, I will tell you, unlike the last time when I ran in 2014, where I had really only a few small number of Republicans supporting me, this time every Republican club in the districts, there are 8 counties in this district that runs from Jacksonville west of Tallahassee, and every last one of them have stepped up to the plate. I mean, they have not only helped us get our signs out, they are contributing financially in their own ways. They are helping us with phone calls, with door-to-door. I am so excited. Now, for the state, we don't get quite the same reception, but that's okay. The other interesting thing that has happened is the amount of Democrat support we have received, especially for the people who were supporting Corrine Brown in the Jacksonville area, who have come over and have contacted us and have come over to our side. And so that's been interesting as well. And I think that, one of the things that we're seeing is that people want change. And it's really interesting because as long as Corrine Brown was running, they were going to continue to vote for the same old, even though it was not helping us at all. And so it's really interesting to me. I'm taken aback. I have to kind of breathe a little bit and say, is this real? But the reality is we have great Democrats, great Republicans that want to see this district become a very prosperous district and to see it move in a different direction. And so with that, I'm willing to unite. If they're on, if we can come together and be on the same team, then I'm going forward and I'm moving forward. So I'm excited about that. Just like with every other campaign, raising money has been difficult. But on the 24th, we're going to have a huge fundraiser with my friend Herman Cain will be in Jacksonville doing a fundraiser for me on September the 24th. We're asking people to go online to make donations. As you know, we've got to raise money in order to reach the new voters in this new district. And so there's a lot of great things that are going on. Additionally, I tell you who has been absolutely phenomenal, and that is the Florida Federated Republican Women and the National Federation of Republican Women. They have stepped up to the plate. I mean, when we only had 3 weeks to get over 2,500 petitions, they just went out there and worked. And when we qualified, we actually qualified the first time with 4 more petitions than we needed to qualify. So that was just a victory for us, and we didn't have to pay that huge $10,000 filing fee. So people are coming together, and that's what's really interesting about this new opportunity that I have to represent the 5th District.
Well, you sound like you guys are probably the only district in the country that's doing it the right way right now.
Right. Well, you know what? I get to speak a lot. In fact, when we had our first debate, it was really interesting to see the Democrats bang each other up over, Republicans and who gets Republican support. And I'm thinking to myself the whole time, all 3 of you all do. You all have taken money. In fact, 2 of you will have your signs hanging off of buildings that are owned by Republican businessmen. And so it's not about that. But I just told the audience, I said, at the end of the day, I can't tell you the difference between a homeless and a jobless Republican than I can from a Democrat. We've got to start working together and move this country forward. We've got to do some healing. We've got to do some repair work, and we've got to get someone in office that has a vision for this country that will stand up not only to other countries, but to people within our country who want to see our demise. At least their behavior says they want to see the demise of our country and take us in a whole different direction and not be afraid to say what needs to be done and how he plans to do it.
Okay, I'm going to ask you about that vision when we get back here. We got to take a quick break here. We've got Glow Smith running down there. I believe it's the 5th District down there in Florida, right?
Exactly.
Okay, all right. Stay with us, guys. We'll be right back right here at the Conservative Syndicate. Don't go.
City Talk Radio, WRS Cleveland.
Ever wonder how the credit card companies make their money? Well, think about this. If you owe $25,000 on 5 different credit cards and you make your minimum payments every month, here's what it's going to cost you. Are you sitting down? You'll shell out over $13,000 in additional interest, and it's going to take over 13 years to pay off your original $25,000 balance. That's how they make money. Now it's your turn to fight back by calling the Debt Solutions Network. We'll work on your behalf to reduce your debt. We specialize in credit cards, retail store cards, and medical bills. We promise we can and will reduce your debt. Call right now for a free 15-minute debt analysis. 800-709-4392. 800-709-4392. 800-709-4392. 800-709-4392.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
When I had a heart attack at 42, I was not sure what the future held. But a year later, the doctors could find nothing wrong with me and took me off all my medication. What did I do? I took a herbal mixture of garlic, cayenne, and a few other herbs mixed in liquid form. I now call this Extendovite. I would have never believed that a few simple herbs could actually change my life like they did. Now it's your turn to see what the powers of garlic and cayenne can do for you. For only $69.95 plus shipping and handling for a 2-month supply of either capsules or liquid, you too can begin on your path to better health. For more information, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
I've owned my company for 14 years now, and I can tell you that payroll is a 4-letter word. I hate doing it. It eats up hours I don't have, and it costs me money I could be saving. But my accountant's too expensive, and I'm not sure who to call, but I know I need help.
We're Paychex, and we take all the hassles out of small business payroll. We save you time and money. It's easy. Call, fax, or give us your payroll information securely online, and we take care of the rest. We calculate the correct taxes, manage payments and direct deposits. We even send out your checks. Payroll doesn't need to be a 4-letter word anymore. We're so sure that we can save you time and money that we'll give you a month's payroll free. Just for calling 877-663-3830. Get 1 month's payroll for free. Call Paychex right now. 877-663-3830. That's 877-663-3830.
Hey, I don't back anybody unless I believe in them. And I do believe in the value of investing in gold and silver. And the company I trust to buy my gold and silver from is Swiss America. I've been working with them for nearly a decade. I trust them, and you can too. Swiss America will help you sort through and find the best options available when you're considering investing in gold and silver coins. Listen, for over 30 years, Swiss America has been offering Americans what they want in their investments: safety, liquidity, quality, reliability, and a potential profit. Gold and silver have a place in every investor's portfolio. So, why not let Swiss America help you diversify your investment portfolio now? Call now for free information. 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907, 800-978-3907.
If you've got joint pain, let me ask you a question. Would you like a high-quality knee, back, shoulder, or ankle brace at little or no cost? Now, just in case your reception isn't great, let me ask you again. Would you like a pain-relieving knee, back, shoulder, or ankle brace at little or no cost? Well, if you have Medicare insurance, you could qualify for these pain-relieving braces at little or no cost. And these are high-quality braces. They are very comfortable, and they've helped thousands relieve their pain. Now, I'd like you to imagine going on vacation, playing with your grandkids, just living your life again without pain. The Mobility Hotline is a referral service that connects folks with Medicare coverage and other insurance to accredited companies offering pain-relieving braces at little or no cost. And don't you worry about the Medicare paperwork. They'll handle it all for you, and they'll deliver your braces for free. Call the Mobility Hotline now. The call's free. 1-800-557-6150. 1-800-557-6150. 1-800-557-6150.
Am I not speaking English?
The Conservative Syndicate.net, where we speak only one language, American. All right, hey, we're back, and you are listening to the Conservative Syndicate, real conservative talk from real conservatives. I'm your host, John Matthews, along with Joe Hakos, and we have with us Glo Smith running out there in the 5th District out in Florida, and looking real good for her this time around because of all the changes that have taken place over the last couple of years that have made it a fair race, made it given her a good shot at perhaps this time displacing one more Democrat. Now, Glo, in terms of the vision, you mentioned the vision here, and I'm really curious as to how you see, when we're talking about, I don't want to really talk about Trump per se, but the effect that Trump has had on the electorate cannot go unnoticed. Okay, we know there's something going on here, whether you want to call it a movement or whatever it is happening. There's something happening. On the other side of the aisle, of course, we have probably the best example of an establishment type that we've had since Mitt Romney. Okay, mm-hmm. And I'm wondering how, because what this thing, the problem is at the national level. These campaigns, neither campaign is really running on issues. This is more of a mudslinging contest, and I think it's really going to come down to who's able to sling the most mud the closest day to the election. I think the electorate is that fickle and that uneducated, that uninformed. I'm not running for office, so I can be a little bit more honest about how I look at people. But the question I have for you is how, I guess I'm trying to think of the right way to actually phrase this, but how do you see what's happening here in our electorate right now in terms of what is swaying people to vote one way or the other? How do you see that working into the vision that you have for America?
Well, I think that as we get closer to November the 8th, we will see more issues because I think the American people will demand that. You see, this mudslinging that they have going on is not going to bring jobs to our communities. It's not going to strengthen our families. So I think that as people begin to demand to see more of the policies to stick and demand that these candidates stick with the issues and not the personal attacks, then we're going to see changes at the state level and the local level. Now, I also believe that change is going to occur at the local level. I know as I'm traveling the state, not just the district that I'm running in, but in the capacity that I serve with the Federation of Republican Women at the national and state level, I'm hearing the same conversation, and it is, we need jobs. We need to improve our economy. We want to make sure that we can walk in our communities and live in our communities without the fear of being shot or just all of these crazy things that have been happening. And so I think people right now are ready for the truth. I tend to be a little bit more optimistic than most people, but I believe that change is going to come. It has to come. We can't continue on the path that we've been on. We know it don't work. It hasn't worked at the local level. So as we begin to educate people, and I challenge everybody, don't use your emotion when you're making decisions about who you're going to vote for at any level of government. Use your critical thinking skills, research, know who your candidates are, know the positions that they take, and know, like me, I met someone just yesterday, and he started telling me about all these things that were happening with firemen and the pension and cancer rates and all these things. And I said, I've barely grasped all of that. And what I need you to do is to join me and to help me learn the things that I need to know and help me, understand where it is that you want to come from. And I also want to know the opposition. And so to what you're saying. And he said, you know what, you're the first candidate that's ever said that to me. And I said, look, I can't tell you I know everything, but what I do know right now in our community is that just like everywhere else, people need jobs. Not only that, we're talking about tax issues. People are being taxed to death, and the Democrats more than anybody else are feeling it. See, this idea that this country, or this bill of, bill of lies that we've been sold about everything is free and it's not going to cost you anything. People understand that their paychecks are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And if we continue on the same path between Social Security and Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act or whatever you want to call it, that check is going to be even smaller. See, young people get the fact, because I'm telling them and they're starting to read, that this affordable care is not affordable at all. And I'll give you a perfect example. My daughter was considering, when she was looking for a job after she finished law school, and she was looking at maybe having to have her own insurance. And she went to apply. She says, Mom, this deductible is crazy. The premiums are crazy. I'm healthy. Why do I have to pay this much for insurance that I don't want? Not to mention, it doesn't even cover everything. It's just the basic plan. And so I just started challenging her to have those conversations with other young people. And as we've done that, what they've come to understand is that nothing is free. There is a price tag on everything. And so they're starting to question that, in addition to their student loans, in addition to the fact that they may have to stay home for a little while longer. So I just think things are going to change, and I'm hoping that things will change.
Yeah, well, that was one of the questions I'd had here. I want to give you one last question here. I want to give Joe time because Joe has some things he wants to toss at you here. My biggest concern, what I see out here in California when I go to Republican events, the meetings, rallies, or whatever it is, the thing that really kind of I find disconcerting is that I sit in a room with people that are older than me. Okay, I'm 62 years old, and I'm looking around at people that are older than me, and some of them, it's like walking in on the building, they need their walkers and their canes. But I see very few young people. And my biggest concern is that the Republican Party has never done a good job of articulating conservatism to the younger generation. And that was what I wanted to know from you. Are you seeing the youth out there to such a degree that you think that conservatism has a chance of lasting after this next generation moves on?
Well, that is a huge concern. So it's funny you should say that, because what I do is I challenge all of these clubs. For instance, I see the exact same thing you see. And so when I'm going in to speak to a particular club, what I invite them to do is not only reach out to young people, but to reach out to minorities. See, we have these answers with our conservative views and our values and our principles. And so I challenge them to go outside of their comfort zone and to dare to invite other people. And the interesting thing is people are waiting. They're waiting for someone to come to their door and to tell them what they think about being a conservative and why they are a conservative. And so as we challenge them, I challenge them. In fact, I told a group last week, I said, look around. The only color in this room is me. And everybody else in this room look like they're over 70 years old. That ought not to be the case. And that, I tell them that. So I get to say a few things that some people can't say. I challenge them on bringing diversity between age and race into their clubs. We have the answers. Our conservative views work. The values that we bring are true. They've been proven. And so we have to go outside of our comfort zone. If we're not careful, then even the Republican Party is going to die off. You have to worry about young people, and I challenge them on this all the time. A couple of years ago, young Caucasians were, turning into libertarians left and right. Then this election cycle, I talked to several people that I thought were conservative and Republicans that are young. They were agreeing with Barry Sanders. I mean, what is wrong with them? What is wrong with our country?
That's one of the big paradoxes here. We got to go to our quick break here. A couple minutes here to pay some bills. When we come back, we'll continue our discussion here with Glo Smith, running for Congress down in the 5th District down in Florida. Stay with us. We'll be right back. There is an old saying, children should be seen but not heard. At no time is this more apparent than when politicians speak. The Conservative Syndicate.net, the adults in the room. Hey folks, if you're like me, you don't place a whole lot of trust in today's media for the real truth and facts regarding the volatile world of finance and politics. When I want the real scoop on money, I go to the most trusted source I know, my good friend and colleague, Bob Cardoso. Bob is a noted expert with a PhD in international finance who airs his nationally known, globally syndicated show, Robert Cardoso Live Daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. With Bob, you get the right information at the right time from someone who knows his business and can help you make the right decisions concerning yours. Again, Bob airs daily, Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Visit his website at robertcardosolive.com for information regarding stations and topics. That's robertcardosolive.com. Check Bob out. You'll be glad you did. History affirms a vibrant civil society thrives on freedom of conscience, religion, and choice. Any society absent these qualities stifles individual responsibility and accountability, thus enslaving its people by denying them their potential for goodness, creativity, and altruism. To that extent, oppression, coercion, and totalitarianism are multiplied exponentially. To counter such outcomes, the American Freedom Alliance was formed. The AFA is a nonpartisan, non-aligned movement which promotes, defends, and upholds Western values and ideals. The Alliance strives to build an international coalition of citizens of the West who together promote and protect moral values, democracy, and freedom. To find out more and become part of this valuable asset in the preservation of freedom and all its rewards, contact us at AmericanFreedomAlliance.org. That's AmericanFreedomAlliance.org. Let freedom ring.
Am I not speaking English?
The Conservative Syndicate.net, where we speak only one language, American.
This candidate Glo Smith on the line here with us tonight. And so, Glo, glad to be able to talk to you again. And you're going to be debating Mr. Lawson here soon, I think October 12th. So that ought to be fun. And knowing Mr. Lawson, as he's ran in CD2, where I'm located, a couple times, Mr. Lawson truly believes that the answer to everybody's problem is more government. So will you be able to explain to Mr. Lawson at the debate that more government's not the answer? And just an example, let's go with our education system and, as you already brought up, our healthcare system. Why do we have to have government involved in our healthcare?
Are you there, Glow?
Glow? Is Glow there?
Okay.
Oh, I am here. For some reason, I'm going in and out with you all. But listen, the reason why what his philosophy and ideology, the reason why it's wrong is because we know it doesn't work. It's been proven not to work. Let's just look at education for an example. Our children are failing. We're pouring money in at the federal level, like buckets and buckets of money. Mm-hmm. You know, as I begin to look at our state and what our governor is doing with the parents having the opportunity and the right to choose what type of education system their children would be involved in, because they're the ones who have the best heart for their children. They're the ones who know what works well for their children. Be able to have a choice to say, not only can you take these public school dollars and put your child in a private school or charter school, you can even put them in different children should not be forced to stay in a school that is a failing school just because it's a community school or because it's a public school. Level of educational, those decisions are best left at the state and the local level. No one knows best for Florida children like Florida parents and state. And so we need to have state control. And let's talk about health care. Let's just talk about health care. You know, a lot of the people in the district that I live in, that I love, the district that I want to represent, especially the oldest.
She's going and breaking in and out.
Yeah, unfortunately, Glow, there you're definitely in and out. So we
can't even to get on Obamacare. You see, they don't qualify because they don't meet the basic income qualification or requirement. And so, hey, is that any better?
No.
Well,
can you hear me?
If you stay there, it'd be great.
Yeah. You're clear. You're crystal clear, and then just we're losing you for like 3 or 4 seconds, and you're coming back.
Okay, how is this?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to stay really still and perfectly still and see if that works.
Okay.
But I'm sorry about that. So I don't know if you were able to hear what I said about education, but regarding the Affordable Health Care Act, which is not affordable at all. It's not affordable to jobs. You know, I'm talking to people every day that won't even grow in their jobs or even look in that direction because they're worried about what's not happened yet, what's coming down the pipe. And then when we look at young people, they can't afford it. We look at people in this 5th district who can't qualify because they don't meet the minimum income requirements. When we were debating, when I had the privilege, I call it, the debate with the Democrats during the primary, you know, they kept saying, oh, Obamacare and how great it is. It's not perfect, but it's better than what we had. No, it's not. Don't lie to people. It's not better than what we had. It will not allow me to choose which doctors I want, especially if I decide I want to go across state lines. It will not allow me to grow in my business because I've got to worry about how many people I can have before I have to do certain things. I mean, it's just one thing after the other. The system is a failure. So we need someone who's going to help repeal this thing and let's get it right. But it ought not to be at the federal level. I just believe that states have a right and we should be able to take over and say, this is what we want for our state.
Absolutely. I think the 10th Amendment is there for a reason, and we ought to states use it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. That's outstanding. I just know Mr. Lawson's idea about everything is if it's broke, and we should use more government to fix it. So,
but Joe, who's paying for it?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We will pay for it.
Exactly.
And that's what you were talking about before. People want change, and Mr. Lawson has been. He's been in Tallahassee for 30 years. Now he's trying to get up in D.C., and it's time for Mr. Lawson to maybe he should reconsider another of course, if I can. Hey, Glow, why don't you tell us how people can get on board, get with you, maybe send you some donations to help you get over there, and so you can get up to D.C. and maybe get some of this change going on.
Oh, great. Well, they can reach me, first of all, at glowforcongress.org. That's GLOFOR Congress.org. Our phone number, I actually answer the phone, is 904-589-1173. They can also Google Glow Smith. My web will pop up. They can send donations from any.
All right, Glow. We want to take the time to thank you to come. Yeah, we want to take the time.
And if there is,
yeah, you have to do me one favor though. When you get elected, the first person I want you to talk to when you get there is Mia Love. And you need to tell this woman, get her act together. She's turning into an establishment vassal, and you need to tell her, hey, that's not the people that elected you didn't elect you to come here and become part of the establishment. So exactly. Well, I will definitely do that. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, John, for having me on this show, and thank you to your listening audience. All right, thanks so much, dear. Good luck and God bless you. All righty, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay, that's Glow Smith, or glowforcongress.org. Glow, G-L-O, for Congress.org. And, pitch in. Help somebody. We've talked to Glow before. I wouldn't say she's a close friend, but I would say I know her well enough to know that she's a person of integrity and would definitely be a nice change from what we see going on in Congress today. So make it a point to help her out there. Go GLO for Congress, glowforcongress.org, and help her out there. All right, grease the wheels. That's what you got to do. Okay, guys, it's Friday. We have a special closing that we always do every Friday. We'll be back on Monday, and I'm telling you what, on Monday, we are going to start the week talking about globalism versus nationalism. I've been promising this and been wanting to talk about it for a while. I've been holding it off because of all the other stuff, all the distractions, all the shiny objects, but we're going to get to this because this is the crux of the election, and this is the battle. This is the battle. Everything else is secondary at this point. They're just the symptoms of the disease of globalism and the establishment. And so we're gonna breach this subject on Monday, along with everything else. Visit our website, theconservativesyndicate.net. And thanks once again, for your loyalty and everything that you do to support us here at the Conservative Syndicate. So you all have a good weekend. God bless you. And don't give up the fight. Don't give up the fight. We can do this thing. We can do this. We can whip it, okay? God bless you all. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Guide me to who you want me to help. Raise up more that will call upon your name. Raise up those that love you and seek you and trust you. Raise them up, Lord. Raise them up. Lord, we need a generation of believers who are not ashamed of the gospel. We need an army of believers, Lord, that hate to be lukewarm and will stand on your word above all else. Raise them up, Lord. Raise them up. I pray for unity among those that love you. I pray that you open their eyes so that they can see your truth, Lord. I pray for your hand of protection and guidance. Raise up a generation, Lord, that will take light into this world, that will not compromise when under pressure, that will not cower, Lord, when others fall away. Raise them up, Lord, that they will proclaim that there is salvation in the name of Jesus Christ. Raise up warriors, Lord, who will fight on their knees, who will worship you with their whole hearts, Lord. Lord, call us to battle, that we may proclaim you King of kings and Lord of lords. I pray these things with all my heart. Raise them up, Lord, raise them up.
tuning in to this edition of the Conservative Syndicate, the nationally acclaimed, globally syndicated, politically incorrect talk show that seeks to tear down the imaginary wall of separation between church and state. We want to make you aware you can find and access all our show archives at our website, theconservativesyndicate.net, as well as our broadcast stations and times. That's theconservativesyndicate.net. We so appreciate you taking the time to tune in, and we so look forward to continuing to bring you the best in uncompromised talk radio available on the net today. And remember, folks, it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down in life. It only matters how many times you get up. I'm John Matthews, along with Joe Hako, signing off until next time right here at the Conservative Syndicate. God bless you, and may God continue to bless America.